From the moment she stepped into the diner, soaked by the evening rain and trembling in a way she tried hard to hide, Mia already knew tonight might be different. But she never imagined she'd end up flashing a secret hand sign at a biker she'd never met, praying he'd understand the message and hoping, desperately, that he'd follow her home. Because if he didn't, tonight could end very, very badly for her and her little girl. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and unexpected heroes, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support truly helps stories like this reach more hearts. Mia had been a single mom for 3 years, ever since her ex left without warning and without a cent. She worked double shifts as a waitress, usually keeping her smile bright even when her world felt dim. Tonight, though, her smile was gone. Because across the diner, pretending to study the menu and failing terribly at hiding his presence, sat her ex, cold, angry, and unpredictable. He hadn't seen their daughter in years, yet suddenly he wanted his family back, and he'd followed Mia all week. She didn't trust him, not after what he had done before. And the small bruise beneath her sleeve reminded her exactly why. She walked the diner aisle shakily, carrying a tray while her eyes kept darting to the door, hoping someone, anyone, would walk in who might help if things escalated. That was when the biker arrived. A tall, heavily tattooed man with broad shoulders and a worn leather vest, the kind of figure people avoided without knowing him. He sat at the counter, ordered black coffee, and didn't say much. But what Mia did notice was the patch sewn onto his vest, a discreet symbol she recognized from a safety seminar held by a women's shelter a year ago. It marked allies who had volunteered in silent response programs, people trained to recognize emergency hand signs from victims who couldn't speak up. Her heart pounded. She didn't know if he still worked with them. She didn't know if he'd even recognize her signal. But when her ex suddenly rose from his booth, glaring at her with a look she remembered too well, she felt the walls closing in. With trembling fingers, she lifted her hand behind her back, forming the quiet, desperate gesture she had been taught, the simple but powerful sign that meant I'm in danger. Please help me. The biker froze. Then his eyes sharpened. Slowly, he nodded. Nothing about him moved in a threatening way, yet the air around him changed. He watched Mia's ex carefully, his expression calm but unreadable. Mia exhaled slightly as she stepped behind the counter, trying to focus on work as though nothing was wrong. The biker finished his coffee, left a tip that felt heavy with intention, and quietly followed her ex outside. Through the blinds, Mia saw him simply stand there, arms crossed, saying nothing, blocking the man's path. Her ex sputtered with rage, but the biker didn't raise his voice. He just pointed down the street, making something clear without aggression: Mia didn't want him here. And he wasn't going to let him near her. Her ex backed away eventually, shouting empty threats before disappearing into the night. But the biker didn't leave. He waited by the door until Mia's shift ended, leaning against his motorcycle with an aura of calm vigilance. The rain had stopped, leaving the pavement glossy under the streetlights. When Mia stepped outside, exhausted and still curled with anxiety, he simply tilted his head, silently asking if she was okay. She wasn't. Not even close. She choked up and managed to whisper that her ex knew where she lived now. That she didn't know what to do. That she was scared for her daughter. The biker didn't ask personal questions, didn't pry, didn't make promises he couldn't keep. He simply followed her home at a safe distance, his headlight a quiet guardian behind her small, beaten-up car. She lived in a modest apartment complex on the edge of town, the kind where hallway lights flickered and the walls were thin. He parked nearby, not too close, and waited until she and her daughter were safely inside. Mia saw him from the window as he glanced around the parking lot, ensuring everything was clear. Only then did he nod once and ride off into the darkness. But the story didn't end there. The next evening, Mia found a small envelope taped to her door. Inside was a card with a phone number for the same women's support program she had once attended, along with a brief note written in surprisingly gentle handwriting: "You're not alone." You're stronger than you think. Call them. They'll help. It wasn't signed, but she knew exactly who it was from. Over the next weeks, Mia rebuilt her courage. With help from the program, she filed necessary reports, secured legal protection, and received emotional counseling. Her daughter began sleeping peacefully again. Mia didn't see the biker after that, not even once, but she never forgot the night a stranger stepped in at the exact moment she and her daughter needed protection most. Sometimes heroes didn't roar in with grand gestures. Sometimes they simply understood a silent signal and showed up without expecting anything in return. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share. It truly helps support the channel and spreads these meaningful stories to more people. Before you go, comment below, kindness creates heroes. And remember, one small act of courage, one moment of understanding, can change someone's entire life.